Finally, a professor in Akwa Ibom State who collected money, rigged election, has been jailed for three years. Good one. Who's next to be jailed? Tell me on that comment section as you watch this video.
Professor Ignatius Uduk is a professor of human kinetics at the University of Uyo in Akwa Ibom State. His 5-year trial for falsification of election results has finally come to an end, with the judge of the Akwa Ibom State High Court sentencing him to 3 years in jail. There was no stunt Professor Uduk didn't pull in order to evade trial after pleading not guilty. At one point, he collapsed inside the dock under cross-examination. Also, during the trial, he applied and demanded that the trial judge recuse himself from the case. But the state chief judge wasn't taking it. He thought otherwise. He sent the case back to the same judge. And now, the judge has done the needful. He has sentenced him to 3 years, the maximum allowed under the law, for rigging the election in someone's favor. Remember, this is not the first time a professor will be sent to prison for rigging an election for a politician. The other professor, Oban, from the same Akwa Ibom State, rigged the election in favor of the current Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, although he denies it, but he was also sentenced to 3 years in jail. Remember, in 2019, Godswill Akpabio lost his senatorial bid in Akwa Ibom State, losing that seat to a PDP candidate. Now, let's not forget the man who made it possible for these election riggers to be sent to jail. He's no other than Mike Igini. He was the resident INEC commissioner in Akwa Ibom State in 2019 when these elections were held. And he saw it through the trial of Peter Oban. And while this one was going on, he retired. But finally, justice has been served. And now that justice has been served on these two professors, the question remains who will set in motion the trial and eventual conviction of the ultimate election rigger in the name of Mahmoud Yakubu, the INEC chairman. If there is a yardstick to measure crime, election rigging is supposed to be election rigging. But the truth is, the impact of the rigging that these two were involved in can't be compared to the impact of the election rigging by the ultimate election rigger himself. Yes, he rigged the presidential election, while these two rigged constituency elections. Professor Peter Oban was involved in falsifying and rigging election results in a senatorial election, while Professor Uduk was involved in falsifying and rigging election results in a House of Assembly election in Akwa Ibom State. So you can see there's no comparison whatsoever, and there are many Professor Obans, Uduks, that participated in the electoral heist of 2023 at the state level. It wasn't only INEC chairman that conducted the heist. His was to shut off the IREV and go to the National Collation Center to wait for all the results they have manufactured in many states. So who will bring them to trial like these two that have been tried and jailed? Also remember that it wasn't just INEC officials that participated in the electoral heist. There were governors, politically exposed persons who were actively involved in the heist in 2023. Someone like a sitting governor in the name of Wike in Rivers State. The recording still exists on the internet where he was threatening an INEC official to do his bidding or face the consequences. The only option was take the money and do whatever I want, or you will face the consequences. While we'll talk about the villains and election riggers in 2023 presidential election, we mustn't forget the heroes in that election. One heroine stands out. She refused more than 30 million naira in cash to change the results of the Port Harcourt City local government area. She was the returning officer of that local government area. You can see her leaving the collation center because what they wanted to announce was quite different from the results from the field. So you can see there are people who understand that the will of the people must be upheld no matter what is happening. Even if the world is breaking apart around them, they will stand their ground. Now, look at professors who have risen in the academic world. They should know better what leadership means, the essence of upholding the will of the people. They should understand this better than anyone else. But here we are. They are the ones behaving like thugs. They are the ones now in prison for election rigging. They've lost their jobs. All their reputation is gone. They might never be able to secure jobs in the future. Of course, he started begging for a state pardon, who will pardon an election rigger. So all these are why Nigeria is in the state it is today. A professor will take bribes from a tout or a nobody who doesn't understand leadership or development of the society. He will take money from him and rig election to his favor. When the tout gets to office, he will now set out to recoup his investment. Yes, he paid for it. No one elected him. He paid all officials involved in declaring him the winner, and he's now there. He will recover his investment and he will use that office to punish the same professor. All the people that helped him, well, it's not really helped because he paid for it. All the people that he paid to put him in that position, he will use that his office to punish them. He doesn't understand that a professor needs to earn a decent salary so as to do what? To imbibe the knowledge students need in order to contribute their best to the society when they graduate from school. He doesn't understand all this. He doesn't want to know or care how the school environment is, whether it is like a secondary school or a primary school. He doesn't care about all this, and he doesn't also care if ASU goes on strike for 1 year. He doesn't give a damn. All he's interested in is to recover his investment, and of course with profit. Are we going to talk about their emoluments? All these people they rig elections for, when they get to office, they increase their salaries that runs into millions of naira every month. In fact, the professor cannot be able to buy one car in the motorcade of one of these politicians. A car that costs about 150 or 200 million naira. If the professor saves his salary of about 500,000 naira per month for 35 years, his entire career, he cannot be able to afford one car, one of the SUVs in the motorcade of these politicians. So because of selfish reasons, he wants to earn a few millions. He has now put himself in trouble. Not just himself, all Nigerians will be suffering because of a few people who were looking for pennies just to rig elections. You see, our problem doesn't just start and end with leaders. It also includes people who enable the leaders, especially during elections. Many people wait for election periods. They see it as a cash out time for them. They jostle for INEC jobs. They jostle for all jobs that are associated with elections because they see it as a period they will hit it big. They will take bribes from participating politicians. Even judges jostle for election tribunal jobs. Yes, at the detriment of everyone else. These types are not concerned about the hardship that people they help to power brought on Nigerians. What they are hoping on is that time the person will come back and say, please help me to win again. And they will just take that bribe from the person. Whether the bribe will last for a few weeks or 1 year, that's not their concern. And they've been doing this for several years. Think of all the elections we've had since the Fourth Republic. So it means the money is never enough for them. Because if it was, they wouldn't continue taking bribes from politicians. When is enough enough? Imagine what would happen if these professors stopped rigging elections to anyone's favor. Imagine when the votes of the people, their will will start to count. Imagine people that won the popular votes would get to office without being bogged down by election tribunals, litigations here and there. They would just get to office and focus on working for the people who really elected them. They didn't buy anyone. They didn't have to pay any INEC official, any police officer, any army official to work for them in an election period so that they will have an advantage and win the election. They didn't need to involve in all this. All they did was tell the people what they would do for them, and the people were convinced, they voted for them, and they get into office and start doing exactly what they said they would do. If this happens, then no professor in future will have any need to take bribes from anyone in order to rig election to his favor. Yes, a professor will be busy doing his job. He will be earning good salaries, better and higher than that of any politician. Yes, that's how it's supposed to be. But reverse is the case. The whole thing is upside down. They help touts who don't understand anything about leadership. They help them to get to office, and these people start behaving as they are because they are not professionals. They don't know anything about leadership, and Nigerians are surprised. Why are you surprised? Someone that didn't tell you anything he will do in office, you help him get there just because maybe he paid you money, or he's your relative, he's from the same ethnicity or the same religion, and he gets there, people are surprised he's not performing. He can't give what he doesn't have. That's how life works. So we need to start doing better. All that money and they ended up in jail. What's the need for man? Except making the country work for everyone. If the country works for everyone, you will have few people contesting for positions. That's how it works in developed countries. Because political office is not where people come to make money, where they earn money. If it becomes that way in Nigeria, very few people will have interest in contesting for elective positions. That's how it works. So we need to do better, and the time is now, especially in 2027 when we are going to have another presidential election. People need to get their votes. Like we always say, no one is going to come and do it for you. If you're hoping on the people in power right now to do something or amend any law that will guarantee that they will never win elections, no one should be dreaming that way. Even if they end up doing it, always make sure that you protect your vote as far as you can go. Thanks for watching.
After you listen to that, good one, good one. Who's next to be jailed? Who's next to go to that place? I know say you know the person. You know the person. One major person when he put us for this problem now. You see, I will say this country is truly working like this. It's working, everything. System is working like this. All this problem for the solve. Small, they solve one after the other. But today, what we see, nah, we only see one like this. Out of 100, we only see one like this. And that is the problem. It's not working. Only one out of 100. Those 100 have the power, have the influence, have everything. They are above the law. It's unfortunate now for this one. Enough here escape. Enough here escape. So that's why Becky said, go there. The money when you collect a rig election, may you go spend them for prison there for 3 years. You come back, can't do worse again. You will learn them. Anyways, who is next to go? Professor Yahoo Yahoo. You understand? So in other countries, this is it. When you found this like this is how this election should be conducted. Anything anybody did contrary to that electoral laws, you are found guilty, you go to jail, no doubt. There's no second thought about it. The law says already you are not going to do otherwise. That's why you see everything is working in other countries, because their laws are working for them. In Nigeria, just imagine a professor will come and rigged election for an illiterate to enter office, and now illiterate is dealing the same professor, and next year now the next election they will come and do the same thing. Despite this this problem the country is going through now, they won't look at the competence of those presidential candidates. No, their own is just to collect money. Once they collect money, they feel that money will serve them for the rest of their life. They don't care again. Good one for this. Yes, let's watch out who's next, especially 2027 election. Please write on that comment section. At least you know 5 of them. Who is that judiciary that will jail those people? That's the problem. But just write on that comment section. Name them 5 of them when they're supposed to jail by now.